Okay, great. Replays come online. This was a game against Order of the Dragon. Again, I was pretty aggressive, towards the end at least. So it's another kind of good lesson in final act aggression with Ottomans. It's also one of my favourite maps. So it's such that you can build docks either side and fish as much as you fish until your heart's content. So, rushing the first 2 ages as usual. We've got 8 on. Last time I had 9 and I thought that was a bit much, so this time 8 on. The other problem I had this game though, at some point, I think it was just about when I was upgrading to actual castle age, which is obviously incredibly important, the screen just went blank. I had a technical issue for about a minute, or even potentially more. Also my computer was lagging really badly, so I was really worried that I was going to have to either quit the game or I was just going to lose straight away. If they'd have attacked very early, there's no way I could have defended, because I literally couldn't see anything. It was perhaps 1 or 2 minutes. I think it was just before, yeah, just as I was just about to build the next, the Castle Age Imperial Armory. So I'm pretty good at this. I've kind of learnt my lesson from countless other occasions, and I've prioritised outposts in kind of the most vulnerable locations, which I do think helps, and it did help in this game. If you're a kind of early defensive player, putting 1 or 2, in this case 2 outposts up, I think really is worth it. I know there's a significant cost. There we go, that's just before that. Luckily I had kind of villagers coming out, so it didn't interrupt the play too much. I think it just kind of slowed down upgrades and whatever else, and some buildings. So yeah, it's 10 minutes in. If anyone ever plays me, 10 minutes in I've got no one. I've got 1 spearman. Let's have a look at... So I've got military 3 apparently, although I don't know where the others are. Oh, maybe this one, maybe a scout counts as military, I don't know. 41 villagers, 31 and 29. See, maybe that is more sensible, a more sensible number. And they're coming for the attack. See, this is the kind of thing that, for me, it's about surviving that attack with literally 4 members of the military. And this is where I should, making the point that, oh, that was slow. That was really slow. What am I doing here? That's not good. And this is Order of the Dragon, remember, so these are some of the best troops in the game. I don't know why they did that. Why don't they just go here in the first place? I'm not sure. So I'm fortifying the outpost and obviously creating janissaries. Couldn't have been creating janissaries before. The other thing that I'm very mindful of now is they're creating battering rams. I need food income in order to create units, but all my villagers here are on wood. I was very tempted to put them on some sort of food source. That was good. To put them on some sort of food source, but that would mean that they're not there to destroy the battering rams, and I need the villagers to destroy the battering rams, even at the expense of many of their own lives. Otherwise I just lose the game straight away and it's pointless. And this is what they do really, really wrong, I'd suggest. What are these guys doing? Made it so much easier to destroy the battering rams because they haven't gone with them. They go really late indeed. Destroyed one without them even coming and touching me. Destroyed two and run away. Obviously running away is not that easy with that many villagers. So I get a bit, messes up a bit because they stop outside the tower. I wish you could kind of, maybe that's just come with the experience. Need to figure out how to stop that happening. But Janissaries against these are quite good anyway. These are very strong units, but they're getting destroyed by a huge number of arrows, Janissaries, and the springbolds. So, yes, I've lost a bit of time on resources. It's true, I've lost a bit of time on resources, but really that attack didn't kind of faze me too much. Because of getting those towers up early and having a few Janissaries. Excuse me. I don't know why I always have to sneeze. Yeah, so nice villager flow, making sure that I've got houses going on. I normally put houses they can come and destroy these houses, but I would suggest it'd be a bit of a waste of time if they did that. Got a dock coming up, I've got loads of fishing boats coming, and the extended fishing lines. Got another dock coming up, always use both docks. Made that point in the other videos as well. Always make sure you put two docks there, not use two docks. Make sure you put two docks out. They're actually quite spread out, seemingly. 48 military 16, and they are 41 military 16. Income per minute. They're doing much better than me on wood, but otherwise about similar. Interesting about the wood. Especially interesting about the wood because they're not, as far as I can see, fishing. Again, another player that doesn't make use of the fishing spots. They're really very useful, because if you imagine you're churning out villages, and by using two docks you've kind of created another two town centres almost, in that you're churning out villagers to go on food, churning out fishing boats to go on food. So it makes it very difficult then to kind of catch your enemy if you've only got one town centre, or even if you're kind of using all your stone and all your wood to create another town centre, because docks are much cheaper, right? 100 wood, whereas another town centre is 400, right? Another town centre, 400 and 350 stone. So this is a bit of a gamble. I'm not really going to bother protecting them. If I see a significant force coming, then I'm going to have to try and do something with that. But you do, to an extent this game is about managed risk as well, as any kind of strategy game is. And the plan, obviously, from my perspective, is we're going to be the one attacking kind of as fairly early. For me, fairly early is about 18-19 minutes in. I think I leave it a little bit later in this one, but nevertheless, I'm going to look to be the one to kind of initiate the conflict, initiate the attack towards the latter stages, such that they're not able to do what they should do if they knew about these, which is come around and kind of split them off from my main base and take them out as they like. Getting the blacksmith up to do some research. Obviously 17 minutes without a blacksmith, pretty late, I admit that. They are doing very well compared to me on food. Oh, just dropped my phone. very well compared to me on food. Hopefully that will start changing as the number of boats starts increasing. Got quite a few already. There's a slight disparity with making a lot of... I think I go a little bit too far. I go kind of... because I know that I need loads of wood to create the fishing boats, but I kind of go a little bit too far on that front. Might have been sensible to temper that a little bit. Get the palisade walls up, which do help a little bit in this game, I'd suggest, or at least they, you know, have the potential to be useful. I do recommend kind of whacking up palisade walls, they're not that expensive. I'll go back to my, go back to what I can actually see. Otherwise it kind of gives you a bit of a false sense of what's going on, or why I'm doing various things. Bringing, you know, creating a not an unreasonable force now. You'll notice I'd never really bother with monks and relics. I've mentioned before that for me on some of these games, because they only last 30 minutes, mostly, on longer games it makes a lot of sense, but for me on shorter games I just spend too much time looking for where the relics are and trying to create the monastery, and all, you know, it costs time and it costs wood. I think the main thing is that it's a opportunity cost, right? Whilst I'm messing about with monks, and yes, they can heal my units, but why don't I just make more units, right? So that's my view on that. And you can, yeah, for some reason, I don't know why that is on multiplayer. Look, it comes into, the mines come into view, not multiplayer, sorry, in looking at the recording. For some reason the mines only come into view when the villagers see them, but in the game itself you can see the stone mines and the gold mines, like that one. I wonder if I go reveal all, yeah, what's up with that? Because I previously scouted it, so I knew there was a stone mine there. Then it disappears. That's crazy. Right, and this is, so I'll go select player only. This is what I'm seeing. I noticed some green start to appear on the menu. I'm like, ooh, what's that? Yeah, I turned that round pretty sharpish. And they are pretty slow. I don't know why they're this slow, but they are very slow to notice that they're being shot at with large rocks. I can't imagine, you know, why one would be quite as slow to realise one's being shot at with large rocks, but there we are, that's the reality. This attack actually shows the strength of their units, because although, you know, the Janissaries are very, very strong, compared to my men-at-arms, they're doing pretty well. I was previously Order of the Dragon, I really liked Order of the Dragon, and I came up against Ottomans and was absolutely wiped out. I think I've mentioned that before. But it's the Janissaries, just able to bear more fire on the adversary, such making, and I like infantry units particularly. I don't know why that is, but I do like infantry units. You know, just kind of standing their ground and being an immovable object. Obviously, cavalry is much better for manoeuvrability and for kind of maybe intelligent attacking. I'm less keen for the intelligence. So this is where cavalry would have come in and would have been quite nice, right? Because I would have taken out quite a few of these villagers. As it is, I'm just wandering around the place. Right. bit slow creating units here, but at the same time I'm kind of saving up for saving a little bit for the next stage. I think it's worth doing this. They don't actually retreat. And I have noticed the number of relics in this. So I do start to kind of put some fire down. It would be nice to destroy this, but I don't think do I manage to destroy it? See, that's quite nice, isn't it? It's a nice demonstration of how strong these are. Move, go, go, lombos. Gilded archers, whatever. I'm a bit idiotic with these two. That's not great. But this is a nice matchup for me. Oh, that was a bit poor, wasn't it? And here are my villagers coming in. Why do you have them, you ask? Wow, I'll show you. I did actually take the church or whatever it is out, which is great. It means they're not getting that relic income, which is serious. Like, it's a lot of income. That's a bit ridiculous, I admit it. I put it here. Yeah, that's it. Nice and aggressive, in range of their Burgrave Palace. Making sure that you're not losing too many units from their defensive, just two straggler villages, their defensive emplacements. I know this is a tiny force, but I've just basically risked it. I know that there is a strong possibility that they could have had a significant force ready to come, and they would have destroyed my villages, and that would pretty much be the end of the game, because I've taken... How many villages have I taken? 15 plus another 15 in the castle itself. So yeah, that would have been significantly problematic. I mean, taking out houses is a bit annoying, but it's not that useful, so yeah. But it's still gonna, it's gonna cost them. They're gonna have to rebuild these houses. But I do need to be, one does need to be aware in this context that, and I should have taken the villagers out. I'm really slow to take the villagers out. I think I could just forget about them, to be completely honest. Just kind of mindful that I need to press the attack, and then I just kind of slightly forget about these villagers. 42 idle. That's me, isn't it? Yeah, that's not good. They're not garrisoning. Not quite sure why. Played quite a few people who don't garrison. They just don't. Maybe they view it as the value of continuing their work is better than the value of the kind of arrows that will shoot me. Or maybe they're just looking at something else, I don't know. They have got this up and they are mining. And let's have a quick look at their... So I was just checking over here. So yeah, they're getting stone. They're getting... They were getting stone over here, and they're getting lumber from over here. Also getting some stuff from over here, but they're moving as I maneuver myself. I don't know if they can see those villagers. I was intrigued that they didn't go for them. No, they don't see them. This is me just basically, yes, they're going to destroy that little group, but my plan is very much, I need to be on their villages. I'm very slow to realise that, oh, maybe they might try and trebuchet my Seagate Castle. That might be something they may try and do, right? So, yeah, don't fall into that trap of ignoring the obvious. So, got a nice amount of wood. gold, whatever else. Obviously my income per minute is just much more than theirs, which is nice. At this point, again, it's not quite the same as the previous game where I had placed a Seagate Castle kind of right in range of all their units, all their major buildings. I haven't quite managed to do that this time. But nevertheless, you know, they're very much on the back foot, and it would be a struggle for me to lose at this point, I would suggest. Is that within range? Do you think that's in range? I don't know. Yes, I slowly start, you know, maybe I should be defending my Seagate Castle. Very belatedly. I don't know what these are doing really, to be honest. I do start to send kind of janissaries around, the idea being that I'm taking on villagers. This is a risk. It's a not very well managed risk. I should have put at least a tower up to see what's going on. That outpost is actually... I've got a cannon and firing on their town centre. Not sure if I intentionally did that, but, you know... They don't garrison, do they? They don't garrison at all. Interesting. See, I've got a lot of villagers here. 29. So, yeah, coming through with the trebuchets. I'm starting to kind of get a bit low on the old wood, so I do think I noticed that. Yeah. I should have created another lumber camp, obviously, a bit slow to do that. Nice amount of... there's 10 fishing boats there, there's some ridiculous number here, 18. I've never used up all the fishing spots in on this map, don't think. But in this game I pretty much do, it looks like. Yeah, I think that's them done. I think that's them done. So I do apparently use up all the fishing spots. So not more than 18 then. Maybe 18 is a bit excessive, I admit it. Decided to get some lumber with these guys. I did have to use the market a little bit to get some wood. They're trying to put a keep up there. It's not really a very good idea. I'm not quite sure what I'd do if I was in their shoes. I mean, at this point, maybe give up, to be honest. So I should be moving these about a little bit more to just make sure. Because what I would do... No, I would not, I mean, I don't like giving up just for the sake of kind of giving up. In this context, it's going to be hard to come back, obviously. But I guess what I would do is look to be building somewhere out of sight, out of mind, where I can kind of collect resources. And so that's what I'm kind of very much mindful of with these janissaries. That I want to be kind of going and basically ranging and scouting and making sure that that's not happening. So this is obviously what you kind of should be doing as well. Yes, these units are pretty strong, but against a load of janissaries they're going to struggle. Unfortunately for them. So yeah, I've clicked kind of destroy that first and then go on to that, but because it's already destroyed it turns into like a movement action. I'm not quite convinced that that's a you know, slight flaw. It shouldn't be a movement action, obviously. It should just skip to the next one, I guess. It shouldn't kind of automatically move there. That's not what I mean, is it? Silly. Okay, reveal map for a second. So yeah, I'm kind of slightly nervous that they've got some resource collecting going on elsewhere that really... Oh, it was during the game, but really, no. So the fishes do seem to respawn themselves a bit, but still, I think I've overfished this. The EU will have a stern word. Have real problems with the French. There's disputes between British and French fishermen, particularly in relation to Jersey. The Channel Islands has a significant fishing trade, and they always get into arguments with the French authorities about fishing rights, etc, etc. Anyway, so I'm pretty much done. Pretty much done. Just need to take out these two. Is that the main town centre they've got there? So what they built? Oh, this was a... I was trying to rebuild that. Actually very fast, look at that. Yeah, I think that confuses me slightly when I come back and look at it. I'm like, what? Why is that? Hack. Yeah, and I do notice belatedly that they're destroying my villagers down here. Slightly annoying of them. But, you know, oh well. Now they've got pretty much nothing to defend their base with. So just a case of destroying this and letting them do what they want over here. It keeps them happy. I do think it's worth going for the monasteries. Just to add insult to injury, I put a keep up. And there we are. Good game.